this very terrible breakup. And yes, I read. It was awful, and the people involved know, I'm in this comedy band, and they were like, how about we don't do a song about this one? And I was like, yeah, sure. I wrote a kid's book, and read it to you guys. This is a kid's book by Sarah Shockey, and that's me. Once upon a time, little Miss Frog lived in the pond, and on sunny days she loved nothing more than hopping from lily pad to lily pad, catching good flies to eat. One day she caught the eye of Mr. Toad, who was a very handsome toad indeed. Little Miss Frog thought he might be too handsome for a little old frog, but maybe that's a self-esteem issue little Miss Frog needs to work on. Mr. Toad pursued her, and they began spending hours together, watching pond movies and eating swamp takeout. Mr. Toad introduced little Miss Frog to his very best friends, Mr. Snail and Mrs. Slug, who were married for 8 years. The four of them became inseparable. They went to pond movies, ate pond burgers, and watched swamp TV every Sunday. One night, Mr. Toad, Mrs. Slug, and Mr. Snail went to a wetlands bar and invited little Miss Frog along. But she couldn't go because she was busy rehearsing with her pond comedy band. She missed out on a big night. Mr. Toad and Mrs. Slug went outside so that Mr. Toad could smoke his swamp cigarettes. One thing led to another, and Mr. Toad and Mrs. Slug began heavily making out. He even had his webby hands on her gross neck in an intimate way. Mr. Snail saw them through the window and came outside as fast as he could and was like, what the frog is going on? What the frog is going on? And when neither Toad nor Slug could give an answer, Mr. Snail punched Mr. Toad in the face as hard as a snail could. Then he got in a river cab and headed home because he was very angry. Little Miss Frog was glad she wasn't there because that's a trashy situation. And she doesn't involve herself in trash, you guys. Instead of going home with Mr. Snail, Mrs. Slug went to Mr. Toad's house for hours. Little Miss Frog could guess what they were up to because Mr. Toad pretty much only had a lily pad bed, which is pretty sad for a 34-year-old toad. Mr. Toad didn't call little Miss Frog for days because he didn't want to hear her this sad. I know. Mrs. Slug, on the other hand, kept insisting that she and little Miss Frog were best friends, and even sent her flowers and called her an amazing gal. Finally, Mr. Toad reached out to little Miss Frog with pleas that he couldn't live without her, and even told her he loved her for the first time after she broke up with him. This was the most caring thing that Mr. Toad had said to her since he admitted to being her boyfriend when he was drunk. Also, Mrs. Slug is the worst. We can all agree that she is horrible and that it's cool little Miss Frog doesn't talk to her anymore. In the end, little Miss Frog went back to her own lily pad, having learned the lesson that maybe toads with shoulder tattoos and without a cell phone are bad news.